Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Nilanjana's exclusive English lessons. And yes, the Act 1 Scene 2 video, which you all have been requesting, finally, I am ready with it because you know that I was a little tied up with a lot of other commitments. My classes were going on. So, in the midst of all this chaos and confusion, I got a little late. But yes, now I am here to give you the explanation of scene 2. Now, I'm sure most of you must be knowing that scene 2 is pretty lengthy. Like we cannot cover the entire scene 2 in one video. So I have divided it into two halves. Probably in two halves we can complete. So today we are going to do the first half of the scene 2. So without wasting much time, I would like to dive in and start the explanation. So in scene 1, if you remember that Caesar was out for a conquest, and in scene 2, we see that he finally returns to Rome. And this is a very important day. So what is the important day? It is the feast of Lupercal. And along with Caesar, there are other senators and the other commoners also, those who are present in this scene. So we have Caesar, we have Antony for the course, we have Calpurnia, Portia, Decius, Cicero, Brutus, Cassius, Casca, a soothsayer, and of course, we also have the tribunes, Marulus and Flavius. So just a brief introduction about the characters. We already know who is Julius Caesar. Now we also have Marc Antony. So Marc Antony over here, he is ready for the course, a ceremonial race, which is usually held on this special day. It's a day when people celebrate the feast of Lupercal. And here, Marc Antony, he's getting ready for a ceremonial race. A ceremonial race refers to a traditional foot race. Like, in simple words, it is like, you know, the noble men of Rome, they run up and down the city. It is just a kind of sports and fun and frolic. All right, so he's getting ready for it. We have Calpurnia. Who is Calpurnia? He's Caesar's wife. We also have Portia, who is Brutus's wife. We have Decius. Decius is also one of the conspirators. We have Cicero. Cicero is a senator. Brutus, we know the noble Brutus. We have Cassius, one of the prime conspirators against Caesar. We also have Casca, even he is a conspirator. And we have Soothsayer. Soothsayer is a person who can predict the future. And we also have Marulus and Flavius along with some commoners. So here first Caesar calls out to Calpurnia. Casca, peace ho, Caesar speaks. Which means that let everybody be quiet. Caesar speaks. So Caesar is held in high esteem. When he speaks, nobody can utter a word. Caesar again calls out, Calpurnia. Calpurnia, hear my lord. Caesar, stand you directly in Antonius' way when he doth run his course, Antonius. So what he tells is that in order, when Antonio runs the race, when he's ready for that race, he's commanding Calpurnia to stand in his way. Marc Antony is about to run in the traditional foot race, and it is because of the feast of Lupercal. So the reason Calpurnia is asked to stand in the way so that she gets touched as she passes. And as per the belief, if a childless woman is touched by the holy runner, she loses her sterility, means she will no longer remain childless, she will be able to bear a child. So this is the reason why Caesar asked Calpurnia to stand in the way. So he tells, forget not in your speed, Antonius, to touch Calpurnia, for our elders say, the barren here refers to a childless woman, a woman who is unable to bear a child, touched in this holy chase. So it's a holy ceremony. If she gets touched here, then she will be able to get rid of this sterile curse. Antony, I shall remember when Caesar says do this, it is performed. So Antony says that, yes, of course, I'm very dutiful. And when you just utter a word, it is immediately performed. Caesar, set on and leave no ceremony out. Soothsayer, Caesar. Now here you have to pay a little attention. Caesar, who calls? So immediately when he hears the voice, somewhere from the crowd, somewhere from the crowd, he hears a voice. So Casca tells, bid every noise be still, peace yet again. So let everybody be quiet. Let there be peace. Caesar. Who is it in the press that calls on me? Who is it that calls my name? I hear a tongue shriller than all music. So I can hear somebody's voice, which is very shrill. So that's the reason I'm able to mark this voice, observe this voice. There's something in this voice. So who is it? Cry Caesar, speak. Caesar is turned to hear. So yes, you're calling out my name. Speak out. I am keen to hear what you have to say. Beware the ides of March. Very important lines, because this is giving us a premonition that something is going to happen. Now, as I have said, soothsayer is a person who predicts the future. So what does he predict? That you have to be careful about the ides of March. Now, the ides of March is the date referred to 15th of March. All right. So in some books also, somewhere it is referred to as 14th, but we'll stick to the 15th of March. So this is what soothsayer tells him. What man is that? Brutus. A soothsayer bids you beware the ides of March. So Brutus tells that there's a soothsayer and he can predict the future, and he asks you to be aware of the ides of March. Set him before me, let me see his face. So bring him before me. I would like to see his face. Cassius, fellow, come from the throng. So come out, don't stay in the crowd. Please come out and stand ahead so that Caesar can have a look at you. So now the soothsayer comes forward. Look upon Caesar. So he's commanded to look upon Caesar. Caesar, what sayest thou to me now? Speak once again. So what were you saying to me? Speak up. Tell me. I want to hear. Soothsayer. Again, he repeats the same thing. Beware the ides of March. Caesar. He is a dreamer. Let us leave him pass. So here, even though Caesar is, warned, alerted that something may happen to him on the ides of March, but Caesar just brushes it off and he doesn't pay any heed to it. So which probably also gives us an idea that he's a little overconfident and he doesn't take heed of whatever the soothsayer tells him. He doesn't pay attention. So he tells that he is a dreamer, means he's talking all, useless things and absolutely doesn't make any sense. He's dreaming. So let us leave him. So now everybody leaves for the celebrations, the ceremony we know, Feast of Lupercal. So everybody leaves for that, and only now on the stage we have Brutus and Cassius. Now there's a long conversation, a very important conversation which takes place now between Brutus and Cassius. Okay, so let's understand. Oh, and of course, oh yes, my dear students, till this point, if you feel that you are getting helped, you are getting motivated by my videos, and you are getting all the explanation, request you to subscribe to the channel. Those of you who don't know me, my name is Nilanjana Sarkar. I'm an English teacher teaching students and creating content for all of you on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram and other social media. So you can stay connected with me. And of course, if you like the video, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends. Hit the like button. It just brings a smile to my face. And I'm really glad, I'm really filled with gratitude when all of you liked my first video and requested me for the second part. I was really very motivated. All right. So yes, let's get back. Cassius, will you go see the order of the course? So he tells that, are you coming for the celebrations? Are you going for the for seeing the race, the ceremonial race, the traditional foot race? Not I. So Brutus says, no, I'm not very keen, so I'm not going. Cassius, I pray you do. I am not gamesome. So Brutus here has a long speech and he tells that I'm not gamesome. So I'm not gamesome refers to I'm actually not in a festive mood. I'm not in a festive mood, to be a part of these festivities. And I do lack some part of that quick spirit that is in Antony. So Antony, he is very lively and he's very competitive, but I somehow lack that. He is more like a sober kind of a person. So that's the reason I would rather not go there. Let me not hinder, means I don't want to stop you. Let me not hinder, Cassius, your desires. Just because I don't want to go, I don't want you to stop from going. Please go ahead and I'm ready to leave you. Cassius, Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eyes that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have. You bear too stubborn and too strange a hand over your friend that loves you. Now, what is Cassius doing? Please pay attention over here. In this part of the drama, Cassius is testing the waters. Now, what is the meaning of the phrase testing the waters? Let me understand whether you all know this phrase or not. And if you know, please share the meaning in the comments. Testing the waters. Yes, I'm not going to tell this meaning, but yes, I'm going to tell you something else. So here Cassius is trying to probe Brutus's feelings towards Caesar. Now we know that Cassius is also one of the conspirators and he is jealous. He is a great manipulator and he is going to use Brutus to gain his ends. He's a very, very complex character and he has his own selfish motive to rise against Caesar. So what he's trying to do is he wants to bring Brutus to his gang. The reason he wants to bring Brutus is because Brutus is a very noble lord of the kingdom, right? So everybody considers Brutus to be the noblest man. So here, if Brutus joins their gang of the conspirators, then, people would again look up to the conspirators that they're doing something good for the general well-being of Rome. So what does Cassius say? Brutus, I do observe you now of late. Recently, I have observed something in you. I have not from your eyes that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have. So somehow that friendliness, that gentleness, that affection, that friendliness that was evident in your eyes, nowadays, somehow I miss that. I used to have this, but now I miss it. You bear too stubborn and too strange a hand over your friend that loves you. Too stubborn means these days you have become very rough and little unfriendly over your friend that loves you. Somehow I feel that you are not that friendly with me these days. Somehow you are a little rough. What is the matter? Brutus, Cassius, be not deceived. If I have veiled my look, I turn the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. So Brutus is trying to pacify Cassius and he tells that, do not misunderstand me. Be not deceived, do not misunderstand. Because if I have veiled my look, if I have put a cover on my emotions, if I'm not able to show my friendliness to you, I turn the trouble of my countenance completely to myself. Okay, the reason is I am only responsible for this. You have not done anything. The trouble of my feelings, the trouble of my expression, that I'm not able to show that friendliness is, I am only responsible for that, merely upon myself. Vexed I am, means these days I am a little troubled, I am a little disturbed. Of late means recently, with passions of some difference. So these days I am a little troubled with certain thoughts, conceptions only proper to myself. So these conceptions, these thoughts are only pertaining to myself. Nobody has done anything to it. I'm not angry with anybody. Which give some soil, perhaps, to my behavior. So this is the reason which gives some soil, means this is the reason, perhaps, that my behavior towards you, it has changed. But let not therefore my good friend be grieved. So please do not be grieved. Among which number, Cassius, be you one. That this is the reason for my, unusual behavior. But please do not consider this to be a reason to be depressed, because you are one of my good friends. Now this word, you are one of my good friends. I have a few other also, among which number Cassius be you one. So Brutus considers Cassius to be his good friend. Now this is ironical. Is Cassius really Brutus's good friend? No. As the drama unfolds, as the drama proceeds, you will realize that it was Brutus's mistake to consider Cassius to be his good friend, because Brutus is honest and he doesn't have any kind of trickery and deceit in him. But everybody is not like that. All right, so this is a little ironical. Nor construe any further my neglect than that poor Brutus, with himself at war, forgets the shows of love to other men. So, all my good friends, and which also includes you, they should not consider my change of behavior for anything else, because the only reason is that poor Brutus is with himself at war. That means he is in a turmoil. He is not at peace with himself. So here we can get a glimpse of his disturbed mind. And why is he so disturbed? Because he is also getting an idea that the general well-being of Rome is not very peaceful. And he really loves his country. And that's the reason he's a little worried about the condition of Rome. So that is what he tells, that if all my friends, my good friends, consider this, let them just think that the reason for this change of behavior is that I am at war with myself. Forget the shows of love to other men. And due to that, I'm unable to show my expression, my friendliness to other men. Cassius. Then Brutus, I have much mistook your passion. So this is what he tells, that, okay, if that is so, then I have misunderstood your feelings. By means whereof this breast of mine hath buried thoughts of great value, worthy cogitations. So he tells that, okay, then probably I have misunderstood your feelings. I was wrong. By means whereof this breast of mine, means I have kept in my heart thoughts of great value, a number of important thoughts. There are also some important thoughts which I have kept to myself, thoughts that are worthy considering. Worthy cogitations refer to, there are thoughts which are very important to be discussed and considered. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face? So he throws an open question to Brutus and tells, can you see your face? Brutus, no, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself, but by reflection of some other things. So he says that, no, how it is possible? Because, we really cannot see our face. And the eye can only see when it can see the reflection through some other things. So, no, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself. The eye cannot see itself. The eye can only see itself when it gets reflected through some other things. It is just, and it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eye, that you might see your shadow. So here he's again trying to test the waters. He's trying to probe Brutus and trying to get him into the conspiracy. So that's the reason, he's trying to create a situation, an introduction. So he tells that it's very much lamented. It's so sad. It's a shame that you don't have any such mirrors that will show your hidden worthiness into your eye. Means you are worthy of so many great things. You are such an honorable person. You are the worthiest person, but it's so unfortunate that you cannot see what you are worthy of, right? I have heard that where many of the best respect in Rome, except immortal Caesar. So what does he tell over here? That I have heard. All right. So what he tells, I have heard where many of the best respect in Rome. Many of the best respect means all the great people of Rome, all the good and worthy people of Rome, except immortal Caesar. Now, how can this be possible? Who is an immortal person? A person who never dies. So is Caesar immortal? No. So here he's speaking in a sarcastic tone that you all have considered him to be like, somebody who's very great. People have given him that stature. People have put him on that pedestal that he is like a very great person, almost immortal. But of course not, right? Because he is just like any one of us. So except immortal Caesar, everybody is speaking of Brutus and groaning underneath this age's yoke. So everybody is complaining about the burden of the current government. And everybody also wished that if your eyes were working better. So he is trying to say that people are actually looking up to you. The other good people of Rome are looking up to Brutus to see if he takes a decision, because everybody is complaining about the current state of affairs. The current state of affairs refers to the current government, the current political condition of Rome, which is not at all stable. That is what the common people believe. What is the fear that they have in their mind? In the first video, I had mentioned that they were scared of Caesar's growing popularity, and they thought that what if he becomes a dictator? Then everybody has to live like a slave. So now somehow Brutus got an idea. He could understand that Cassius is taking him to a dangerous direction. So he tells, into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius? So where are you actually leading me to? Where is this conversation going? That you would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me. So you are trying to find something in myself, dig out something from myself, and I know that it's not in me. So what are you trying to prove, or what are you trying to say exactly? Cassius, therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear. So yes, this is what you have to hear and get ready for it. And since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass. So I am ready to be your glass, your mirror. I will reflect the good points that you have, which probably you are missing out. That how worthy you are, how great you can become, what kind of greatness you can achieve. That is only possible for me to understand, and I'm ready for you to become your mirror. I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet know not of. So you are not yet understanding that what are you worthy of. So what is he hinting at? He is hinting at the possibility of overthrowing Caesar and trying to make him understand that you can be in place of Caesar. And be not jealous on me. So do not be jealous on me. Now here the word jealous means do not be suspicious of me. Don't suspect that I am taking some evil course and I'm trying to take you in a different direction. Gentle Brutus, were I a common laughter, or did use to stale with ordinary oaths my love to every new protester, if you know that I do fawn on men and hug them hard and after scandal them. So here he's trying to prove his genuity, means his how transparent and how true he is to his words. So he's telling that do not be suspicious of me, because if I would have been a common laughter means a frivolous fool. If I would have been just a fool, blabbering all the time, where my words would be very unimportant, or did use to stale with ordinary oaths my love. So, or if I would have just promised every now and then my love to every new friend. So every time if I would have promised my love, shown my love to everybody around, then probably you have a reason to suspect me. But I'm not like that. If you know that I do fawn on men, do I fawn on men means do I flatter them? Okay, I never flatter people. And hug them hard and after scandal them. So there are people, they are called the flatterers. So their praise is never genuine. So he's telling that I am not one of them. I don't hug them hard, and the moment they turn their back, I scandal them. So these are the qualities of some people which we have in the society. So I am not one of them. That I profess myself in banqueting to all the rout, then you hold me dangerous. So if I am not doing all these things, then don't suspect me. That I profess myself in banqueting to all the rout. Rout over here refers to the mob, the common people. That means if every now and then I am proclaiming my friendship to all the common men, and I'm just getting along with every person, every Tom, Dick, and Harry, you see me getting along, talking, being friendly, feasting and flattering people. But the moment they turn their back, I start scandalizing them, slander them. No, I'm not like that. If you think that you have these qualities in me, then you hold me dangerous. And in the meantime, we have in the background flourish and shout. So this means that the festival is going on and everybody is enjoying the festival. Brutus, what means this shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king. So Brutus tells that why are the people shouting? I do fear that probably Caesar will be crowned today. I do fear. So I do fear. The moment Cassius heard this word, I do fear, he tells, yes, do you fear it? Then must I think you would not have it so. So see, here he is not able to tell directly that, let us conspire against him and let us rise against Caesar. He's not able to do it. So he's trying to probe into his feelings towards Caesar, and he's trying to catch him a little off guard. So the moment he tells, I fear that probably people have crowned Caesar. So Cassius tells, okay, do you fear it? That means probably you don't want it also. Brutus, I would not, Cassius, yet I love him well. So these are the very honest words that come out from the core of his heart. And he tells, I would not, no. But at the same time, I love him also. But wherefore do you hold me here so long? So why are you, taking my time for such a long time? What is it that you would impart to me? What is that important thing you want to tell me that you are getting me into a conversation which is quite lengthy? If it be all toward the general good, set honor in one eye and death in the other, and I will look on both indifferently. So here we get to see the real nature of Brutus. So what does he say? If you are trying to catch hold of me and trying to tell me something which is for the betterment of Rome, the general good means for the betterment of my country, I am ready to give my life. Set honor in one eye and death in the other. That means if you set honor and death together, if you present these two things to me, then I would look at both of them in an indifferent manner. That means honor and death, they are equal to me. For let the gods so speed me as I love the name of honor more than I fear death. So what exactly he tells over here? That if I do anything, if for the general good of Rome, if I do anything, right, then it can even mean my death. That means I'm ready to die. I'm ready to sacrifice my life for the general good of Rome. So may the gods grant me good favor, only so long as I love honor more than I fear death. So honor for me is, pivotal to everything else in my life. It's the most important thing. So may the gods grant me favor only as long as I love honor more than my death. So now we have Cassius's speech, and he tells, I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus. So yes, I know that you have that virtue. You're extremely honorable. For you, honor is important than anything else. As well as I do know your outward favor. Well, honor is the subject of my story. Yeah, that is only what I want to talk to you about. I cannot tell what you and other men think of this life, but for my single self, I had as lief not be as live to be in awe of such a thing as myself. So here he tells that, I would rather not live at all. Why? My life is a little miserable. So it's better for me that I don't even live in awe of such a thing as myself. That means, why should I be in awe of Caesar when he is just like myself? In awe, what is the meaning of the word awe? When look up to somebody with respect and a little, feeling of fear and respect together, we call it awe. So why should I be in awe of somebody who is just like me? I was born free as Caesar, so were you. I was also born like him. Even you were born like him. We both have fed as well, and we can both endure the winter's cold. So we have, when we ate our food in the same manner, we have endured the winter's cold as well as he. So we have also endured, means we have also seen the extreme cold weather at times, and the way he has endured it, even I have done it. For once upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled Tiber chafing with her shores, Caesar said to me. So one day, he refers to an incident. The incident that he refers to is that on a raw and gusty day, means on a very harsh and windy day, when the Tiber River was swelling in its shores, means when the water was overflowing in its banks, against its banks, that's when Caesar had told me something. So what did he say? He said that, "Darest thou, Cassius, now leap in we into this angry flood and swim to yonder point." So probably he gave him a challenge. And what was the challenge? That can you swim into this angry flood? Means the river was very um, turbulent. So the river, in this turbulent waters, can you swim and reach to that point? Yonder point refers to a particular point. So, he's just throwing a challenge. Upon the word, acquitted as I was, I plunged in. So the moment he gave me the challenge, I plunged into the water. Even though I was dressed, okay, I was not in my swim attire or anything. The way I was there, carrying myself, I just plunged in and I bade him to follow. So indeed he did. So immediately I jumped into the water and he also did the same and bade him follow. So indeed he did. The torrent rode and we did buffet it. Now the torrent road refers to the turbulent waters, and we also struggled with all our strength, and we tried to control the waves, and we tried to swim and drift in the water. With lusty sinews, sinews over here refers to the muscles. So we, both of us, were strong, throwing it aside and stemming it with hearts of controversy. So he's referring to this incident when both of them, they had swam together and it was a tough fight. They, both of them, fought with their strength, and both of them had the same competitive spirit. Hearts of controversy refers to the competitive spirit they both had. But ere we could arrive the point proposed, ere means before we could reach the point that we had decided, suddenly Caesar cried, "Help me, Cassius, or I sink." So he was in need. He started shouting for help. And what did I do? I saved him. And now here there's an allusion. So what does he say? "I, as Aeneas, our great ancestor, did from the flames of Troy upon his shoulder the old Anchises bear, so from the waves of Tiber did I the tired Caesar." So what happened is, after swimming for a long time, Caesar got exhausted and he was not able to swim further and he was about to drown. That's when he called for help. So what did I do? I, like the legendary figure. Who is this legendary figure? Aeneas. From the figure is referred from Roman mythology, and he was also the son of goddess Venus. Now, he was also even the ancestor of Julius Caesar. So the same way Aeneas carried his father out of the burning ruins of Troy, I also rescued Caesar that day. So he is trying to say that I am no less than him. I'm equally powerful, and I would rather say I'm more powerful than him because I saved him that day. And this man is now become a god. So this man, this wretched man who was not even able to swim, he has now become a god in the eyes of common men. And Cassius is a wretched creature and must bend his body. And Cassius means, he's talking about himself. And I have become a wretched creature, a shameless, a stupid creature who doesn't have any dignity, and he must bend his body. The word bend his body refers to the culture or the custom of bowing down when somebody higher in authority comes in front of you. So I must now do this for this man. If Caesar carelessly but nod on him. So even if he just nods on me, just gives me a nod, just like a casual nod, then also I have to bend down and show my gratitude towards him. So is this the man that we should be really looking up to? So we can understand how jealous is Cassius of Caesar. He's extremely jealous of Caesar. He had a fever when he was in Spain, and when the fit was on him, I did mark how he did shake. So here, when he was in Spain, he even had a fever. And when he was in that grip of that fever, he shook terribly. So that means what? He's feeble and he's weak, right? So there are many texts, many critics often say that he suffered from epilepsy. So this is also one of the meanings of this line. So therefore, he tells that when he suffered from that fit, he shook, violently he shook, which showed that how weak he is. True, this God did shake. This God, the God that we all are worshipping, the common men are worshipping, this God did shake. His covered lips did from their color fly. That means his lips looked pale, and that same eye whose bend doth awe the world, the same eyes, who gives those looks at everybody around, the common people, and he expects people to respect him, people to show their gratitude towards him, did lose his luster. Luster means brightness, the glow. So when he was ill, when he was suffering from this fever, I saw him in that condition where his eyes lost his color, where his lips were pale. And this is the man that, we all are looking up to. I did hear him groan. He was in a lot of pain. I, and that tongue of his that bade the Romans mark him and write his speeches in their books. Alas, it cried, give me some drink, Titanius, as a sick girl. So this is the way, he was behaving that day, as a sick girl does. Somebody who's feeble, who's weak, somebody who's terribly, exhausted, and doesn't deserve this kind of honor that we are giving him now. You gods, it doth amaze me, a man of such a feeble temper should so get the start of the majestic world and bear the palm alone. So how, surprising it is that such a man of such weak constitution will get an advantage over the entire world, will become powerful as the one-man army in Rome, and he is going to get the prize of victory all alone. Does he really deserve this? So this is what he asked Brutus. And again, in the background, we have another shout. Okay, people are shouting and there's a lot of chaos at the background. Another general shout. I do believe that these applauses are for some new honors that are heaped on Caesar. So I'm very sure that the reason people are applauding and clapping and shouting, I'm sure there is some new honor which are getting heaped on Caesar. So he is being given some new honor. Cassius, why, man? He doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus, and we petty men walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves. So colossus is a reference to a giant in the ancient times, and there was a statue of Colossus, and I will share the notes of Colossus later on. He controls the narrow world like a giant. Colossus refers to a giant, and we are the petty, the small men. We have to walk under his huge legs, and we just have to peek out to find our graves, as if we have to live in servile fearfulness. So this is the life that we are all leading. He will behave like a giant, and we have to walk under his huge legs, and ultimately when we find our death. And this is the life of a slave that we are all entitled to. Men at some time are masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings. So very important line, which are very meaningful even today. So what does he say? That men at some times are masters of their fate. So we often, blame the stars, blame the celestial objects for some unfortunate things that happen in our life. So he tells that, it's not true. The fault doesn't lie in our stars, but the fault lies in ourselves. That we are we make the mistake when we start respecting somebody who doesn't deserve that respect, and we consider that we are inferior. We are not able to judge or value our own virtues and goodness. If we are able to see what good lies in us, then probably we would not behave like a slave the way we are doing now. So the fault is not in our stars. See, we blame the stars for the mishap, the unfortunate things, but it's not true. Brutus and Caesar. What should be in that Caesar? So now he calls out the names. Brutus and Caesar, what should be in that Caesar? I mean, your name and his name. What is so special about his name? Why should that name be sounded more than yours? Why is this name so popular that it is being repeated more than yours? Write them together. Yours is as fair a name. Your name is also good. Sound them. It doth become the mouth as well. So even if you call out the name, then also it fits the mouth in the same way. Weigh them. It is as heavy. So your name also is as heavy as his name, is as important as his name. Conjure with them. So if you want to create some magic with the names, Brutus will start a spirit as soon as Caesar. So if you try to create a magic, then even the name Brutus will conjure up a spirit. In the same way, it will be done with the name of Caesar. Now, in the names of all the gods at once, upon what meat doth this our Caesar feed? So let me ask this one question. What is the meat that he feeds on, that he has grown so great? What is that special thing that he is eating that, he has become so powerful that everybody is, considering him to be like a god? Age, thou art shamed. Rome, thou hast lost the breed of noble bloods. So he is, trying to instigate Brutus to a great extent. And he tells that Rome, which was once known to be a land of noble men, now it has lost, because there's nobody now. It has lost the breed of noble blood. But when went there by an age since the great flood, but it was famed with more than one man. So now the condition of Rome has been reduced to such an extent that now it's only the glory of one man. When could they say till now that talked of Rome, that her wide walks encompassed but one man? So when was the last time they can speak about Rome, that we will stop talking about just Caesar and not about the other men, the other noblemen of Rome? Rome has lost the ability to raise noblemen. That means at one point of time, in an age, since the Great Flood, now the Great Flood refers to a historical event. So since that time, do we ever see the rise of a single nobleman, a famous man? Now is it Rome indeed, and room enough when there is in it but only one only man. So now also it is the same Rome, but we have room enough only for one man, because we are no longer raising noble men. Earlier, Rome was known for raising the breed of noblemen, but now there's no one. Oh, you and I have heard our fathers say there was a Brutus once that would have brooked the eternal devil to keep his state in Rome as easily as a king. So here he refers to Brutus's ancestor, who was also very honorable and famous. So he tells that once upon a time, we had heard about that once upon a time there was a Brutus. And this Brutus was your ancestor who would have let the devil reign in the Roman Republic before he would be allowed a king. So after telling all these things, Brutus tells that you can understand that now he is little convinced. That is the main purpose, of Cassius talking to Brutus in such a long conversation. So he tells that you do love me. I am nothing jealous. I am not at all suspecting you. I understand your love for me. What you would work me to, I have some aim. How I have thought of these times, I shall recount hereafter. So I know your love for me. What you would work me to. So what would you ask me to do? Or I do not doubt that you love me, and I'm actually understanding the fact that what you want me to do, what would you like me to do? And give me some time. I'll tell you that what kind of thoughts I have in my mind. And also, I would like to talk to you about what's happening in Rome later. How I have thought of this and of these times. Of these times refers to what's happening in Rome. I shall recount hereafter. So I'm going to tell you and talk to you. For this present, I would not, so with love I might entreat you. So for this moment, for the current moment, in the name of our friendship, I would ask you not to, persuade me like this anymore, because I know what you want to say. And it's a request for me in the name of our friendship that do not try to persuade me. Be any further move refers to do not try to persuade me. What you have said, I will consider. So whatever you have said, I will think. What you have to say, I will with patience hear. So I will also with patience hear what you have to say and find a time, a suitable time, both meet to hear and answer such high things. These are matters of great importance, and I will find a time to think about it, get back to you. Till then, my noble friend, chew upon this. Brutus had rather be a villager than to repute himself a son of Rome. Under these hard conditions, as this time is like to lay upon us. So he tells over here at the end that, my noble friend, just think about this, that I would rather be some villager than call myself a citizen of Rome during this difficult situation. We are all going through a very difficult situation. The times are really hard and difficult. So I would rather be a villager rather than calling myself a citizen of Rome, because I'm too troubled with whatever is going on in Rome. So therefore, the times are really difficult, but give me some time, I will get back to you. I am glad that my weak words have struck but thus much show of fire from Brutus. Now, show of fire refers to the passionate reply which Brutus gives. So what does he tell? That I would rather be a villager. So for Brutus, Rome matters a lot. Why would he be a villager, and why would he not consider himself to be the citizen of Rome, right? So he tells that I would rather be a villager. And after hearing this, Cassius is very happy. So he tells, I'm glad that my weak words, do you really think the words are weak? No, the words were really strong. He persuaded Brutus to a great extent. And he said that I am happy that my words have struck but thus much show of fire from you. This kind of a passionate reply I have, got from you, that is a real good thing for me. I'm really happy about it. And with this, their conversation ends, enter Caesar and his train. So I'm going to continue the next part in the next video. So I think I have covered the first half of scene 2. It's a long and lengthy scene, I repeat, covered a lot of things, and go through it. And I think I will be coming up with the next part within a very short time. And if you have any doubts, get back to me. I hope you have enjoyed the video, but do not forget to subscribe, like, and share the video, and share it with everybody, your friends, those who are in need of this text explanation. And yes, those who are also interested to join my private classes, like my online classes, where you get personalized attention, they can mail me. I'm sharing the email address over here. You can give me write a mail to me. In our personalized class, basically what we do is we do a lot of other things: question answers, tests, MCQs, and revisions. So those who are keen, let me know, and you can drop a mail. All right, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed the video. See you soon again in my next video. And yes, if you have missed the first part of the explanation, Act 1, Scene 1, please go ahead. I'm sharing the link, because you need to know first the first scene, and then you can come over here. Thank you. Bye-bye.